going into the exams, I was writing, and it was more like it was from without within. And then to worsen it, when we were done with the exams, some of my mates were saying that the time was not enough. Time was not enough. And then when the exam came out, more than half of my mates failed the course. So going to the exam board to check the exam was just God's grace. But thank God I passed the exams.
This is my campus story. My campus story.
Okay, my name is Ruben Ningisi Samuel. I schooled at Federal University of Agriculture, Makodi. I studied civil engineering. Yeah, civil engineering. Okay, I was someone that was very inquisitive and still inquisitive, but I having fellowships on in secondary schools really helped me to say, but I didn't really have something that I can actually figure out that this is what I'm going to do with my life. Yes. I would say it's a journey, though still a journey for me when you talk about life. But for me now, we say it's a journey. And why I say that, it's because the campus for me was a place where I was taking steps towards the things I felt God was leading me to. So for me now, we say it's a journey. Yeah, a journey. Okay, I think the place of lacking resources. I think most students face that, but for me, it was the place of lacking resources, where Gary is your strength. In times where you can actually lay your hands on something tangible to eat. Gary was one of the things that you could rest on. But for me, I would say the place of lack of resources, finances, sometimes food stuff. But I will also say that my mom really did a great job in ensuring that I had what I needed according to her own strength. So, but yeah, for me, I would say that the place of lack of resources. Okay, yes. Okay, so there was this course that I was to write, and I had only 50 minutes because my exam card had issues with it. Rather, I had issues with my exam card, and then coming to write exam, I was already prepared to write the exam. So going into the exams, the invigilator said that for those who have these kind of issues, should not come to sit for the exam. So I had to run back to the exam officer trying to make things work. So like 1 hour, 10 minutes was already gone for the exams, and this was exams that was quite tough. And then going into the exams, I was writing, and it was more like it was from without within. That's to say that I will write the answer, and then later on say that, oh, it's correct, that kind of a thing. And then to worsen it, when we were done with the exams, some of my mates were saying that the time was not enough. Time was not enough. And then when the exam came out, more than half of my mates failed the course. So going to the exam board to check the exam was just God's grace. But thank God I passed the exams. So I passed that particular paper. So I would say that for me, that moment, I don't forget it. I see it as God's hand, with me through those times. Okay, one major thing that we want a student out there struggling, maybe possibly with academics, maybe with resources, is to take this to heart, that everything you are passing through is just a season, and you have to give attention to limit the excuses that you may have that will not make you, perform well in school or live the best of yourself in school. So for that student, I'm just saying that please just know that it's just a season. Just give attention, to be consistent, give attention to be dedicated to your academics and your work with God. Okay, one of the things working on campus, there are some values that I had so strong, and I do proclaim it. One is the issue of exam malpractice. I hate exam malpractice with passion. So throughout my secondary school and university days, I didn't engage in anything like exam malpractice. Secondly, lying. I hate lying with passion. And then thirdly, having sex before marriage. These three things are things that I've heard so strong to my heart. And whenever I see a student out there on campus, one of the major things I speak to them about is these three things. Don't engage in exam malpractice, don't have sex before marriage, and then don't be someone that lie. So these three things, I any student I meet, I actually put them through these things and show them the need for them to keep to these life principles. Okay, generally when we're talking about campus missions, the main audience are the students. The main audience are the students. If we influence the lecturers, and the rest is to the end that they influence the students. So my word to them is to know that these students actually are crying out for mentors. They are crying for direction. They are crying out for persons who will lead them well. When you see a student misbehaving on campus, when you see students doing stupid things on campus, it's not from the place of we know it's all, but it's from the place of a cry that they are crying out that they need someone that can hold their hands and lead them. So the responsibility of the alumni, the responsibility of the church, the responsibility of Christian lecturers is to rush into this harvest and ensure that they give mentorship, they lead these ones right, direct them in the right path, because this is what they are crying for. So for me, that's what I see, that the alumni, the church, and Christian lecturers, this is what I see that they can do. This is what they should take up as their responsibility, and they should be very serious about it. My campus story, like I said earlier, for me, I still say it was a journey of becoming, a journey of discovering who I am in Christ, a place of also a journey of discovering what God has set for me to do with my one life here on earth. So I still say that my campus story, in one sentence, is a journey. It was a journey, rather. Oh, thank you. Discipleship, becoming a Christ-like influence. Okay, this is great. Thank you so much for this gift. It's a blessing, and I trust God to really do a great job with this by studying it and seeing how I can improve on my discipleship with students and any young person that I meet out there. Thank you, CMLI.